Welcome to the ultimate guide on setting up Citra. Now, Citra is a 3DS emulator that you can get on Windows, Linux, and Mac. And basically, what it does is it allows you to play 3DS games, as you can see on this website here. Now, uh, it's your mileage. Your mileage may vary depending on what computer you're doing this on, and even what operating system. So, uh, make sure make sure that your computer can actually run these types of things, and you should be good. So, Citra doesn't need a super powerful PC to run, although it does help. Sorry about that. That was an unwanted caller. Um. Anyway, because the reason why I say that you don't really need a super powerful PC is because uh, Citra is actually capable of running on Android phones, and those are not very powerful. I mean, nowadays they're starting to get a bit up there in power. I mean, we can play Fortnite on your Android phone for Pete's sake, but um, it doesn't require a lot of resources. So I don't know if this website has an area where it lists the requirements. I don't think so. If it does, I don't know where it is. But either way, you should be good. So the one thing I am sure about is that you do need a 64-bit operating system. You cannot run this on a 32-bit operating system. It, it won't it won't work. I don't think it's even supported. So once you find out what operating system you're on, then we can proceed to the download page, which you just click the nice orange download button. Me, I already have it installed, so I'm not going to install it again. But once you get here, depending on what operating system you're on, it'll automatically detect which operating system that you are on. If it doesn't, for whatever reason, you can click on the other platforms button, and that will bring up all the other supported platforms. And as you can see here, it's even supported on Android. So once you select the operating system that you want and download it, you'll be good to go. And because it just downloads the exe, uh, you don't really need to extract anything. I will say you will need 7-zip, uh, depending on how you get your 3DS games. If you're dumping them from your official 3DS, then you should be good to go. But if not, then you may need 7-zip to uh, extract the games from the folder. Alright, so once you have that, all you gotta do is follow the prompts on the installation or what's it that pops up, and then we are good to go. So let me close this out, and we'll open up Citra. Now, I do recommend that you download both the nightly build and the uh, canary build. And the reason why I say that is because some games that may not work on the official uh, stable build may work on the um, on the canary build. So, and this emulator is getting updates constantly. And since I've had this, I've gotten several updates just within the last couple of days. So this simulator gets updated quite frequently. So just be prepared to update your emulator pretty often. And the nice thing is, uh, if they both have an update, it'll update both of them at the same time. But if only one of them has an update, it'll only update the one. So it's actually pretty nice. So when you open up Citra, you're not going to have all of this that's on that's on the screen right now. This is a list. This is a list that consists of all the games that I have, as well as some other stuff that I'm going to show you how to get. So to add a directory, like I said, you may need your, yours is gonna just have like a little folder with a plus icon. Just basically double click. I'm gonna have to click down here, but double click to start searching for your games if you have any games, and then just navigate to the directory and then hit use folder, and you're pretty much good to go. And then it'll start populating uh, with your games. Now, once you have your games, we can go up here, and you know what? Hold on. Just gonna do something really quick. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. Much better, actually. Okay, so once you have your games, though, you want to go to emulation, and then you want to go to configuration. Once you do that, you'll get this screen right here. The first thing I would change is I would go in here to audio and change that. Now, for my friend, she said that when she installed it, she didn't have to change any of the audio settings. But me personally, I had to switch it to HLE fast. Now, by default, it may be on multi-core, LLE multi-core. That is going to tank your performance depending on what computer you're using. Obviously, you can experiment with this and figure out which one works better. But I'm gonna put it on this, and I'm gonna show you guys what I mean. Actually, can I shrink this? Yeah, there we go. Now we can get to the OK button. All right, so I'm going to look for, where is Sonic Generations? Sonic Generations is the perfect example. Come on, stop being weird. I know you're in here somewhere. Okay. All right, so we'll just use Sonic Lost World then, cause I can't. I don't know what Sonic Generations went. Sega. And as you can see, already it's doing horrible. And then if I go back into configuration, go back to audio, and then I put it back to where I had it. Seriously, why is this always cutting off everything now? Okay, there we go. And then we go back into Sonic Lost World. Sega. And as you can see already, it's already a lot better. You'll definitely want to check your audio settings first, because I can almost guarantee you it's not the graphic settings. In some cases it will be, but for my particular case, it was the audio settings, which is kind of weird. But I just wanted to point that out. Now, you go back to configuration, go to controls, and you can map your controls the way you like them. It does have an auto map feature, so if you're using an Xbox controller, it should map it automatically for that. I'm not sure if it works with the PlayStation controller or even the Switch Pro controller. But uh, the feature is that, or you can just manually map your buttons yourself. I do recommend creating a profile. As you can see, I have mine labeled as Xbox, uh, and that's just to keep your settings from being, you know, accidentally erased if something goes wrong. That recently happened with a friend of mine on Dolphin. So yeah, always make sure if you have the option, make sure you make a profile. Um, and I don't know why I keep closing it out. Force a habit, I guess. Um, the next thing that we're gonna go to is the graphics settings. Now, this is purely personal preference. Okay, so right here you can upscale. Uh, you can upscale the game to look a lot better and a lot smoother, a little bit more crisper. But only go up to what your computer can handle. So you can go all the way from the native resolution all the way up to, I believe, 4K. Yeah, you can go up to 4K. I think what was mine? What is mine set for right now? Some kind of weird resolution. It don't have 1080p on here, which would be kind of nice if it did, but it don't have it on here. Um, so I just put mine on 1440p. Um, the next one, you don't really, you don't really need to change. There is no other options for that anyway. Uh, Now the texture filter, this one is personal preference as well. So if you want your game to look a little bit better, you can use these texture filters and stuff like that. Um, I personally don't use them. I probably should, but I don't. Uh, I don't really notice a difference when I use these either, because I did test them out, but yeah, I don't really notice a difference. Now this next section right here, the stereoscopic 3D thing, this is only if you're one of the few people that still has a 3D monitor. If you have a monitor that supports 3D, then you can take full advantage of this section right here, and you can set it up to the way you like it. Um, this next section down here, the layout section, again, it's personal preference. It does not affect the graphics or anything like that. Uh, so you got a couple of different layouts that you can choose from. So you got default, which puts the 3DS screens how it shows up on the console. Then you got single screen, which only shows one screen at a time. Then you got large screen, which puts the main screen, the top screen, um, as the bigger screen. There is a shortcut where you can swap the screens and stuff like that if you need to, but most likely you're not gonna need to. Then you got side by side, which basically puts both screens literally side by side around the same size. Then this one, uh, this one right here, the separate screens, that's pretty cool. I do like this being on here because uh, if you're someone that uses OBS, you can use this and get the screens set up the way you want them to be instead of relying on the other options mentioned. So that's pretty cool. I do like that. And then you got hybrid, which basically it's a bit weird. There's a couple of DS emulators that have this option as well. Basically, what it does is puts one. It has one big screen that shows the main screen, and then on the other side it has both screens, the top and bottom screen. It's really weird. I don't know what purpose that serves, but I mean, hey, it's there if you want to use it. I thought I put my phone on do not disturb. There we go. All right. So yeah, that's basically the layout section of it. You can, like I said, you can swap the screens, but uh, you don't have to come into the options screen to uh, close that every time or to switch the screens every time. Like I said, there's a shortcut and there's a actually another way you can swap them as well. So I'll show you that here in a minute. Then you got your screen rotation, which is useful for um, those weirdly oriented I was gonna say switch games, those weirdly oriented 3DS and DS games. I think this can support DS games. I'm not 100% sure. I need to try that. Uh, but yeah, you do have the option to rotate the screen. Um, large screen large screen proportions. I did. I noticed this, but I never used it. So uh, I would just leave it as is. But you can change it if you need to. You can change the color of the background if you so desire. Uh, hold on. Did something pop up? It did, but I don't see it. Why is that? I am so confused right now. Uh, I don't see anything out of the ordinary. Okay. select color. It's weird. Like it's not showing up whatsoever. Okay, so you used to be able to change the color of the background. I don't know what's going on with it right now, but hey, you used to be able to change the color of the background. If it works for you, then yeah, you can totally change the color. But right now, it's not working for me. Um, then you have the option to use custom textures if whatever game you want to use it for supports it. So you just tick it, and then you're pretty much good to go. When it's unticked, it doesn't. These two options down here aren't available. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the graphics. Oh, then you got advanced. You should not, under any circumstances, have to come in here and change anything in here. Uh, just leave this on OpenGL because that's gonna run better than software. And then, like I said, you shouldn't have to change any of these. You can if you need to, if you're still having trouble running the emulator, but nine times out of ten, you're not gonna need to change those. Um, then you got system. So basically, what system does is it um, you can choose the username for your system. Uh, Basically, it has all the information that the 3DS normally asks you and whatnot. Um, you can offset the time if you want to. You can give yourself play coins if you want, which is handy for certain games that allow you to uh, use your play coins to purchase in-game items. So like right now, I have 91. I set it to 91. You can change it to whatever you want. Uh, then you have down here. We'll come back to this later because that's gonna be part of the guide. This stuff down here, you don't really need to mess with. You don't need to worry about or anything. Uh, if you go back up here to the top, go to camera. You can set up the camera if you want to, because certain games do let you use the camera. Uh, I haven't set it up yet because I mean the way my setup is, it would defeat the purpose anyway. So, um, but the option is here. You can use a camera if you want. And then you got storage, which you don't need to mess with this at all. And then, lastly, for the configuration settings is your general settings. Uh, you really don't need to change anything in here. You can obviously, but you really don't need to change anything in here. If you're gonna be playing games from different regions, you want to leave this on auto select. Where it says regions, leave that on auto select because if you change the region and you forget and you go to try and play, like say for example a Japanese game, it's not gonna work because you changed the region in the settings. Also up here we have web, which technically you don't really need. Uh, you can play online without this. In the past, I think this was required, but you don't need this anymore. Um, Debug, again, you're not gonna need to mess with. And then UI is basically personal preference. Like you can change your language, you can change the theme if you want. So I can go like this, and I'm going to have to click OK, and then that theme will change. I kind of like the dark theme because it does a better job of showing what you can select and what you can't select. So we're gonna go back to dark. Let's do dark colorful. I want to see what that one looks like. I think that's what I was on, but I could be wrong. Okay, yeah, I think this is the one that I had selected. Okay, so yeah, you can change the color basically. Uh, Midnight blue. Oh, I'm gonna have to check that one out later. Um, you can change the size of the icons, or you can remove them altogether. Me, I always keep mine on large. Um, you can also change whether or not certain parts of the title show up or not. Like I got mine where it says title name short. By default, I think it's on. I think it's on file name, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember right now. Then you got row 2 text, which basically shows pretty much everything else that the top row shows, which I just set to none. Then you can hide any games that don't have an icon. Uh, and enable single line mode if you want. And then, yeah, that's about it. So we're gonna go ahead and just hit the X button on that. Let's see. Some of the features that this emulator has is it does have it does have amiibo support, so you can actually use your amiibo in games that support it. You can install CIA files if you want, which is right here, I believe. No, that's not it. Yeah, here we go. Install CIA. Um, then you got your recently played list right here. And you can get to your Citra directory from here as well, which is pretty nice. And exit obviously just closes the window. Um, Under emulation, we have a few more uh, options. We got pause, stop, restart, all self-explanatory. Um, Load state, save state, configuration, and configuration of current game. So you can actually set custom configurations for individual games, which is pretty nice. So if you have a configuration set up for the entire emulator that doesn't work for a particular game, you can go into that particular game that you're having issues with and make a custom configuration for that game alone, which is really really nice. Multiplayer, you can browse different rooms. So this like there's a lot of different rooms that you can join and uh, participate in. So there's one like for like Super Smash Bros. You got Pokemon Unite, Pokemon X and Y, uh, Monster Hunter, Monster Hunter XX, um, and so on and so forth. There's a bunch of different rooms that you can join. You can also create a room if you want. So you just make a room name. You can choose a preferred game, max players, um, choose your username that shows up. You can make it password protected if you want. And you can choose the port. And then you can put a description for your room. And then you can choose if you want to make it, um, excuse me, you can make it public or unlisted. And then when you got everything set up, just hit host room and you're good to go. Let's see. Then you got direct connect to room. So I guess if you know the information that they use to make the room, you can type it in here. Then the next tab over is your tools, so you can record. Uh, you can record movies and play them from here as well. You can do advanced frame. I've never used that, so I'm not sure exactly how that works. Um, you can do capture screenshot, which is Control P if you want to use the shortcut, and then you can dump video. And the one option that isn't here is the view button, but that only shows up when you're in the game. So I'll show that off here in a minute. But then you got your help tab, which has basically your different stuff for uh, finding a solution to whatever problem that you have. So that's pretty cool. Uh, so let's actually launch a game real quick. Oh wow! And now I find generations when I'm not seriously looking for it. So I must have overlooked it quite a few times. So let's launch this game. And here's the configuration that I've been using lately. But like I said, you can go into configuration and go to graphics, and you can change the layout from here if you want to. But if you don't want to keep opening up the configuration screen every time, you can go to this option, which only shows up when you have a game open, called View, and you got you got the ability to toggle full screen. You can you can enable a single screen mode from here. You can also again change your screen layout, and you got quite a few options here. So if I put it on default, this is how it looks. And then I'm gonna show you guys the separate screen one. So there's this one. What's this second screen? Actually, is it on there? Oh my gosh. Get Citra. Yeah, I did hit separate screens. It's just being an ass right now. Why isn't it letting me? There we go. So I'm gonna make this a bit smaller. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in here. Oh, okay, that's what that does. Interesting. So basically, it separates the game menu and the actual game screen itself, so you can actually switch games on the fly if you want, which is kind of cool. I do like that. So let's go back to this. Okay, and then let's go to separate screen again because this game is this thing is being so weird right now. I don't understand why it's not showing the other screen. I might need to reboot my computer to fix that issue. But yeah, you get the idea. And if I do this, this is the configuration that I've been using. Let me do that. There we go. And then this is the side by side. So yeah, pretty cool. And then from here you can go to emulation and hit stop, and it'll close out the game. So yeah, from here you are pretty much good to go. You are free to leave this video and uh, start playing your 3DS games. But if you want if you want to actually get the full 3DS experience and actually be able to mess around the 3DS menus and stuff, and even get these apps, I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. It's actually really simple. So I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what you can get. So if you go to File and then go to uh, Boot Home menu, uh, for you it will be all of these will be grayed out. All of these different regions will be grayed out. Now, since I already have it added, I'm gonna click on my region, and here we go. This is the 3DS menu. You can mess around with it all you want to, and just explore. There's obviously going to be things that you can't do, like for example the 3DS shop, the eShop will not work. Um, you can't connect to the internet through this. So yeah, that would be kind of cool if you can still like go to the eShop and like purchase games through an emulator. That would be freaking cool. I wouldn't even lie about that. That would be so cool. Um, you can even go in and change your theme if you want, which I don't think we have any themes on here, but oh, we do. Couldn't remember. So we can't even access the theme shop even if we wanted to. So, but yeah, and I do have a installed game. I installed as a CIA. So you can actually access those if you want, which is really cool. This is also gonna be the way you uh, get your me data, unless you know how to dump that kind of data from an actual 3DS. Because without this, you can't play certain games. Like for example, you can't play what's the word I'm looking for? You can't play Mario Kart 7 for some reason. You can't play Tamagotchi Life, and I think Pilot Wings Resort. Pretty much any game that utilizes the Mii characters, you cannot play. There are some exceptions though, like for example, Super Mario 3D Land, Citra will create a dummy me for that one. What was another one? I can't think of another one off the top of my head right now, but yeah, there's a couple of games that has exceptions. And just to show you that this does actually work, start from scratch. And I'm not gonna like severely customize it. I'm just gonna go and we'll just give it a BS name. BS create a name and hit save. And then there we go. Now the cool thing is, if you have an Xbox controller, you can set the capture button as the home button. So if I press that button, we can actually suspend the game, and then we can close the game like we would on the actual 3DS. Pretty cool. I do like that. And then when you're done, you can go ahead and close this if you want. And then if we go to Mario Kart, for example,
Mario Kart! Let's go!
Actually, I guess another game I could have used is the Super Smash Bros. Game. Didn't think about that. I forget how you can customize your meat on this game. Alright, so we'll just use Smash Bros then, just so I can show you guys that it does actually work. I mean, just the fact that I was able to go into Mario Kart at all is proof enough. But uh, I want to show that you can actually use your meat if you want. So if we go, get this There you go. There's my custom yes, man. There we go. Now we have our custom character. Cool, right? So, how do we go about getting this? Well, that's so. There's going to be two links in the description for me to play my video for you you can download those. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you can use both, but I would only use one or the other. And for me, obviously, I use the United States one. So we're gonna close out of Citra, but actually, wait. Yeah, we're gonna close. We're gonna close out of Citra, and somewhere on here I have a text file. If I can find it, that has the links on it. Should be here somewhere. I did resize my computer, so it probably stuck it somewhere. I'm not 100% sure where. Let's see. Did it just outright delete it? Oh, nope. Here it is. Okay. It just stuck it in the middle, which is fine. Alright, so here's both of the links. Like I said, I have these in the description. These are uh, MediaFire. There we go. These are MediaFire files, so just be aware of that. So I'm gonna copy this and I'll paste it here. So once you get to this page, you just hit the download button, and it should start downloading. Uh, and then once you do that, you will get a file like this. You should get a file like this that has the version number, and then it'll say old or new, old and new 3ds, new 3ds. And so when you go in here, these are already decrypted because you do need these to be already decrypted. Uh, but yeah, these are already decrypted. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to go into Citra. So we're gonna open up Citra again. We're gonna go into File, and you're gonna go to Install CIA. All right, and then basically you're gonna highlight. You're gonna navigate to where you updated the folder. Obviously, you're gonna have to extract it with something like WinRAR or 7-zip. And after you do that, navigate to where you saved the update files, and you're gonna have to copy, or not copy, but highlight all of these files, every last one, and then hit open. And then once you do that, you'll get the same applications you would get on the 3ds home screen. So you'll get the Me channel, settings, the settings app, uh, the camera, the music, and everything else that you would normally get on the 3ds. Now, from here, you would be good to go because all you have to do is literally, if you want to create a Me, just literally click on the Me app, and it opens up like so. Easy. But if you want the actual home screen, that is a little bit of a task and a half, a little bit. So I'll show you guys how to do that. So in your file explorer, you want to make sure you go to where Citra has installed its files. So for me, it's actually inside of a hidden folder. So you want to make sure you got hidden folders enabled, so you can actually see those folders and files. once you enable those, um, go to your user folder, and then you want to go to where it says uh, app data. And if you notice that it's a little bit grayed out compared to this one right here, it's because it's normally hidden from you. And if you had a show hidden files ticked, then you'll see this file. So go in here, you go into roaming, and then you look for your Citra app or your Citra folder, which is right here. Then you go under NAND. Then you want to click on this first folder with all the zeros. Okay. Then you click on title because that's the only folder in there. And then in here, let me see. Hold on. Let me find the one that we need. Ah, here it is. You want to look for the folder that's labeled 0004030, and I'll copy and paste uh, the path into the description as well, so you guys can just uh, you can literally copy and paste it. Well, you would be able to copy and paste it, but the only issue is um, you got to make sure that it changes to your username instead of mine. So you go in here, and then you're gonna find another bunch of folders, and then there's one in particular that we're looking for. All right, here we go. The 00008F02. You want to find that? Go in there. Go into content, and then what you want to do is basically you want to take this and drag it into Citra. So if I go right here and I drag this and plop it on there, it'll actually run the operating system for the 3DS, and that's it. And then once you've done that, you can. Oops, I don't mean to hit restart. Once you've done that, you can go back into File, and you can go to Boot Home menu, and you should see your respective region uh, now selectable. And that is basically how you get the full 3DS slash Citra setup. Now, how it used to be is you used to have to dump uh, your Me files, your Me system files, uh, to the computer and then add it to Citra that way. But now with this, you don't even need that. You can just select the Me app and create your Me's, and then go to whatever game that requires uh, the creation of Me's to play. Now I know this video was a bit long, which is why I called it the ultimate guide to setting up Citra, because it shows you everything from the general setup that everybody else shows, plus extra. So, hopefully, this helped you out. Uh, it's been a lot of fun. I've actually enjoyed uh, putting this video together. And now I'm going to leave you guys off with a little bit of gameplay so you guys can see how well this emulator actually works. As soon as I find the freaking game that I'm actually looking for, then we'll be good to go. I swear, I got so much stuff on here. It's actually kind of hard to find some games. It's kind of scary, honestly. Oh, there it is.
Let's go.